Sterling's wage demands, we knew it was going to kick up a stink, and now it looks like it is paying end to any possibility that Sterling is going to move to Manchester United. I'm Adam, this is Forever United TV on the go with your updates on what's happening in this last 2 days of the transfer window. 1.5 days to go. It is very, very quiet. Is it a little bit of the calm before the storm right now and what's actually happening with United? I'm just travelling back to Manchester to prepare myself for what I was thinking was going to be an absolutely epic last couple of days. Not quite yet, but we got you covered and we've got you sorted in case anything does break. So please do give this video a like before we get started with your updates. Make sure you've subscribed and got your notifications switched on so you miss nothing with Manchester United and what's going on with this transfer window and the updates from inside Carrington and what's happening with injuries right now, because I've got an update on that as well from the inside. So yes, let's get into everything that's going on, and please do, everybody, make sure that you share the video as well and get your comments in below to let me know what you think about everything going on. Do you feel like there is something big about to happen? Because when it gets quiet like this with less time and this much time left to go in the window, you usually expect something big to actually happen, but nothing as of yet. Very, very strange. All we're getting out is that United and Sterling, and we were talking this morning on the early show about Sterling and the possibility of Dan Ashworth and Ten Hag liking the idea of bringing him in, offering him that wage that he wants. It does now look like it's a deal that isn't going to happen according to reports. Rich Fay, the MEN, have come out and said that it's more of an unlikely deal right now at this stage. And that means that United are really pushing hard on Juventus, and it's gone quiet because everything is being negotiated in and is in deep into negotiations right now with where we're at. Obviously, the conditional obligation to buy that we talked about being negotiated in with United and Juventus, and United are probably getting closer to where they need to be. It is essential that Sancho leaves for Manchester United. It's also essential that we get probably going to be worth it in the end for us, that being that obligation to buy at the end. That seems to be crucial right now. Another bit on the Sancho situation and why it's not moved forward is because of the wage demands and how much Juventus actually want Manchester United to pay. There's differing reports on this, but no one is actually committing to what's happened. So this means that this deal, from where it was pretty much done, has took a little bit of a twist and it's gone back round the other way. So again, like we said, it's an ever-changing window, it's an ever-changing sort of landscape with everything that's going on right now. It does look like that's come about again and everything has moved. So no one actually committing. I've asked a few people, made a few calls just to check in on what's actually happening, and it is pretty much as was. All hush hush, and I think the last bit of negotiation, this take it or leave it, this moment where it's either go or not, is coming around right now. And maybe United will have to go back in for Sterling as a swap, because that's the only way Chelsea can make Sancho leave and join them. And it is getting a little bit complicated, as it always does with this time of the window and getting down to the last knockings. We're expecting Agate to be announced today, as we discussed earlier on. That's a formality. There are pictures of Scott McTominay arriving in Napoli for his medical. He's been met by the entourage there of Napoli and is taking him through his paces now in his medical. So that's all going to be confirmed with Manchester United, taking United's pounds made in sales well over 100 million for this summer, which is something quite substantial. If you follow United for a long time, especially over the last 10 years anyway, and seen how United have acted in transfer windows, then you will know that that is significant, covering pretty much half of what we've spent so far this summer on the players coming in. And how important that is, well, PSR will tell you when it comes to next summer's window. And everything that I've said and everything that I have droned on about in terms of PSR and financial fair play will start to come to light, and you will understand it a little bit more, I think. But yeah, that's where we're at with Sancho, waiting for that big announcement to come. I don't know about anything else. The only other player that's due to come in, or any news of a player coming in last minute, is Sterling. And Sterling will only happen if negotiations fall down in the next few hours with Juventus. That is the way that everything is going at the moment. That's the lay of the land. More importantly for Manchester United, again, after asking my man on the inside regarding injuries and Luke Shaw and the cover-up for that, it seems like they're doing the same thing with Mason Mount as well. So not ideal and not perfect situation right now, but it does look like they're trying to cover something up with Mason Mount. Maybe that injury that we've heard about is worse than what it actually is. Again, a massive concern for United going forward. And does that convince them that, you know what, maybe we do need to bring in Sterling? Maybe it's not a bad thing. Like we discussed this morning regarding Manchester United discussing the wages of Sterling, how we fit him in as a squad player. Can he help Manchester United? Is he a good signing to make? Well, if it goes wrong with Sancho and we get rid of Sancho and then Mason Mount's out for another prolonged period of time, maybe the Chelsea deal is the right one in the end and bringing another body in, because he can play in that 10 role. He can give extra cover on both sides as well, Sterling, so maybe it makes sense that way. But as far as everything else is and everything that's going on right now, as we are with Jadon Sancho, we're waiting for the big bang. We're waiting for the announcements, either a yes or a no, and then just prepare yourself for that Chelsea and Sterling talks to come in and follow after that, because that's what's going to trigger everything going forward. It is all resting on Jadon Sancho and that announcement from United, whether he's going to Juve, whether he's staying at United, whether that means that they're going to push towards Sterling and take him to Chelsea and everything like that. That is exactly where everything is right now. What I want you guys to do is get your comments in again below. Please do let me know how you feel is panning down. Where are you thinking Sterling and Sancho are going to end up right now? Sterling could end up not having any team at all at this rate. Sancho, is he going to end up at Juve, United or Chelsea? What are you betting? I want you to get your comments in below on that and let me know where you think that is and where that's going. Like we said, Scott Mctominay, if you are just tuning into the Premier, has been spotted and has been pictured live arriving in Napoli. So everything that United really need to get done is being done, and everything else on top right now. And it does feel like a bit of a bonus if we do manage to get rid of Jadon Sancho at this stage. Like we said this morning, Jadon Sancho waiting around and rotting in the reserves. I don't think many United fans have got an issue with that. And United financially do not have to get rid of Jadon Sancho this season. They've already done what they needed to do and have got all the targets they wanted to get. 5 players in, like we said earlier on, and he can wait in the reserves. He can rot away. So realistically, this is on him, like we said earlier on again, and whether or not he can actually, well, get his entourage or get his people to make something happen. Because sitting around and waiting till the last minute, I think right now, I think United are comfortable with it. I do. And it's down to him again and his career. And let's see what he does. Let's see if he does make that push and gamble and move. But as it is right now, there is not much else to talk about. It just feels weird. It does. It's got a strange sort of vibe going around this transfer window today. I expected a lot more. I expected a bit more of an announcement regarding Sancho. With the time that we've got, we know he's at Carrington and he's training with United. The deadline shuts at 11 o'clock tomorrow night. Yes, we can get a flight booked, and yes, Juventus have probably already got everything in place ready to go for when the move happens. This is what happens. So anyone panicking, thinking that we aren't going to have enough time, well, preparations would have already made, flights booked, and obviously medicals booked in, everything to go. But realistically, I just feel like it is down to him. I think he's waiting for Chelsea. Personally, at this stage now, to get into a day and a half to go, I think Sancho is waiting for Chelsea to make a move. I actually think that Sterling's actually praying that Sancho does make a move, and that way that can force the hand of Chelsea and United to take him away from his nightmare situation right now. I say nightmare, sitting there on how much money? Honestly, I don't know. You can't really call it that. But these guys, like we said earlier on, want to play football. Well, you'd have thought they wanted to play football. I think Sterling definitely does. I have to question everything about Jadon Sancho right now and his movements and how he's acting and how everything is going down. I just don't understand how a professional footballer could look at the situation he is and then wait around this late with the uncertainty going on that you're not going to be playing football again this season. It is weird. We've also got everything coming up later this afternoon, which is why there may be a bit of calmness going around. I don't know with the UEFA draws for the Champions League, Europa League and Conference League. That's coming up. We'll obviously touch on that later in the evening show and talk about that. So we have got a lot coming up. I just wanted to do a quick video to keep you guys updated. We're just travelling back up north from Somerset now to Manchester. So it's going to be a case of find out what's happening, go through all of the news then, and then we'll get down to what's actually happening. We'll have the draw for the Europa League coming up later on. We got Barnsley in the Carabao Cup. That was a ridiculous draw last night as well, wasn't it? I've totally forgot about that this morning. But yeah, that seeded system that's just come in. But United now in a position, obviously, like we are with the transfers, the draw later on. We'll have plenty to talk about, hopefully at 6:30. And hopefully we've got more of an update. But as it is, it's all resting on Jadon Sancho. That is your midday update, everybody. Wanted to just keep you posted as we're travelling. It's difficult to get all of the news and everything out. But for us, there's not really much to really report. All that's left for you guys to do is give that video a like again, or this one even. Make sure you've subscribed. Make sure the notifications are on, because I feel like later on tonight and over the next day, we are definitely going to be getting something significant going on. And I'm thinking of doing something a little bit special tomorrow. So you want to be tuned in, subscribed, notifications on, ready for that. I'll see you in a bit, everyone. Oh, it's hotting up. Oh, it should be anyway.